So it's been a while since I've done a podcast, right? And it's not that I don't want to, or it's not that I don't have time. It's that sometimes you want to get things going the way you want them to. Like you want somebody to be there with you to do it. And then it's like, you know what? I can't do it by myself. But whatever. Today I'm like, I can do it. You want to know why? Because I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm going to go cut my hair. So I cut my hair and it was like 9 in the morning. I'm like, okay, what else do I have to do? Got home, showered, and then I had my cup of coffee. Now, the thing about coffee, I know, listen, I'm perfect when it comes down to just going straight into the topic, but I had coffee this morning and I've been having coffee since I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5. So if you're Hispanic or you were born in like Miami, let's say, we have these thing, well, café con leche is coffee with milk. And it's something that I think everybody in like South America, Central America, or whatever have, we do it daily. Like this is like, I love café con leche. It's too good. Like cafecito is fire. But if you are from Miami and you're Cuban, there's this thing called it's called cortadito. And I know I sounded weird, but cortaditos are pretty much, or una colada is like a shot of Cuban coffee. Now these things, they get you flowing for the rest of the day. And the other day I was with my sister and we were pretty much downstairs and she was telling me, you know what, Ivan? I'm like, what happened? Coffee does not smell as good as it tastes. And when you sit down and you think about it, you're like, damn, you're pretty much right. Because coffee has like this really, like, I don't know what it is. I love coffee, but the smell is just so superior. It is so much better. Because if you have like, let's say, like black coffee with nothing, no sugar, no milk, no nothing added, it's very like, I don't know how to say it. It's very strong. It's like this thing that you can, like, I don't know, it's very strong. Like cortaditos, they have like, sugar and all that stuff, and they got like four or five tablespoons of sugar. But if you have just a regular black coffee, it does not taste as good as it smells. Like you put it there in your thing, you press the button, whatever, it starts brewing, you're like, damn, that smells good. And then all of a sudden you pour yourself the cup, it does not taste as good. And I've been drinking coffee since I was honestly a little kid. And I remember I had uncles and aunts that would take care of me and we would always have coffee. It was me and my cousins always having coffee. But man, it's just I I I think about it every day because now that I wake up, I got somewhat addicted to it. I feel like now that you're growing up, you start knowing these tendencies where you have to wake up and you have to drink this certain thing every day or eat this certain thing every day. And it's just coffee is one of those things that I have every morning to get me, going. And then I'll probably end up drinking another coffee, like another mug of coffee or whatever, in the midday or at 5 o'clock or whatever. And I'm the type of person though that can go on like an entire night probably. I'll say I usually go to sleep 1 to like 2 in the morning, and I know it's not a healthy thing. I've been doing this for like, I don't know, man. It's been so long. It's probably like 8 9 years that I've been going to sleep super late. Actually, maybe even more. Maybe like 12 years. And I know it's not something super healthy for you, but man, it's like I feel like I can do it without coffee. Like if I can go a week or like a month or whatever without coffee, I know I can still do that. But it's like coffee just gives me that extra boost. And I cannot believe that we've been talking about coffee this entire time, but I just had that feeling about it. It's just, I love it. And I was thinking about it for a really long time that it does not smell as good as it tastes. Like every time I pass by a Starbucks, like, yo, I love Starbucks though. Like, let's be real here. But every time you pass by a Starbucks, it's the same thing when you pass by a BK. You know the smell from the outside when it's a BK. I know when I'm passing by a Starbucks, and I know that's good coffee. Well, people say, like, I like Starbucks. There's people who don't, but I enjoy coffee like literally any way. I mean, especially iced coffee. Like I remember BK used to have amazing iced coffee. Like, yo, it was, bro, I'll never forget. I think I was in middle school and my sister was like, yo, try this. I was like, what is it? She's like, just try it. I went over there. I took a sip, bro. I was addicted to that iced coffee. Like, yo, BK has some fire iced coffee. And now I feel like I go to Starbucks every, I don't know, I think it's from October to January just to get the creme brulee coffee. And I feel like that's how they get you, man. They're like, yo, listen, we're going to have this good coffee at this certain time and you guys got to be here for it. And I'm always a sucker, man, and I always fall for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm paying like $6 or $7 for that cup of coffee, but man, it is so good. And at the end of I think it was last year. Yeah, last year I did go to at the end of 2021. I went to New York, and I think it was November. And I went with my parents, my girlfriend, and well, the first thing what happened was I went on that trip. I mean, I was gonna before the trip, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, let's buy tickets. They're really cheap." I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Never mind. I already got them." I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, we didn't even talk about it." She's like, "I got him. I got him, Ivan. I got him." I was like, "All right, whatever." Then a couple months passed by, and Raquel's like, "You know what?" Like, she looks at me like dead in the eye, and she's like, "I don't think I should have gotten this." I'm like, What do you mean?" She's like, "Listen, man, I did it, and I did it for no reason." I'm like, "You know what? Let's just go." So whatever. We started looking for hotels and stuff. I'm like, "You know what? Let's bring my parents on." She's like, "All right, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever." We were able to get the same flights, seats right next to each other. Like, it was a beautiful thing. Whatever. We get there, we're next to Times Square, and I'll never forget that we were like literally stationed right next to Times Square. And then my mom was, what are we gonna do every morning, because we gotta eat something or whatever. So I think the first day that we were there, we ended up going all the way to Times Square because there was a Starbucks like literally right there. And while we're in line, we asked my mom, "Oh, what are you gonna, what do you want?" And I remember that Raquel and I were getting like basic, like, I don't know, probably I think it was a mocha, a hot mocha. I don't even know if mocha's cold. And listen, I'm like spacing out right now, but whatever. I told her like, let's just get that. And then I told my dad, he's like, "Here, I'll get whatever you guys are getting." I asked my mom, and she's like, "Yo, give me matcha." And I'm like, "Matcha? What's that?" She's like, I like it. And it's like this green thing. And I don't know why. Just some people just do not like it. Like some, I don't know. It has like that. There's never a middle ground to it. I'm gonna be real here. There's never a middle ground to matcha. It's either all the way like you love it, or it's all the way no, you hate it. Because Raquel asked all her coworkers to try matcha, and everybody almost threw up. So it's on that spectrum. Whatever. They made it for my mom. Oh, 4 coffees for Raquel, or whatever. It was Ivan. I pick it up, and Raquel and I are having our coffee, and it was super cold. Like, I'm from Miami, so if it's below like 50 degrees, we're freezing out here. Like, we literally have like the craziest amount of layers of clothes on. So I'm freezing. Raquel's free. Actually, I wasn't freezing. Mostly my mom. But whatever. We're cold. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm like, "Man, this is good." And my mom's like, "You want to try it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Let me try the matcha." Yo, I take a sip of that. And ever since then, I've been hooked onto matcha. Like, there's nothing, like, anytime now that I go to Starbucks, I don't have whatever I used to have unless it's creme brulee. But, bro, I will have matcha every single time. And I'll never forget, that was actually a life-changing experience. The reason why is that after we had the matcha, we got so hooked on it that we went on Amazon, and I think they actually sell a pure, like, it's like a bag, and it says, I kid you not, I think it says like Starbucks like matcha coffee. Like, I'm not joking. Like, if you look it up, it was like this green thing, and we're like, whatever, man, let's just get it. And Raquel looked up recipes on the internet and everything about how to make matcha coffee like really, really good. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So I think you have to like boil water. You cannot burn the matcha. It's like you have to do it in a specific way. So you have to put the matcha with water, but it can't be too hot, because if you burn the matcha, then it literally tastes like grass. Like, it tastes horrible. But then you have to mix it in with oat milk. Yes, you need the oat milk, by the way. Listen, if you do not like oat milk, like, go get your tongue checked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to the doctor, the dentist, whatever. If they have a tongue doctor, I don't even know, but you need to get it checked out, because oat milk is fire. Like, don't get me wrong, though. If you're on that 2%, it's not that bad. I love 2%, but you have to get that oat milk with the matcha. So whatever. She puts it there. We have it. And we're like, dude, this is great. And, it's been like 7 or 8 months since we went to New York. And I have to say, my mom got me hooked on the matcha. I don't even think I have an aunt that comes by every once in a while. And the other day, I think it was, yeah, we were there. Raquel's my girlfriend, by the way, if you guys don't know. But we're there, and Raquel and I were making matcha. And my aunt's like, "Oh, what are you guys making?" And my mom's like, "Don't worry, you have to try it, blah, blah, blah." And we ended up making it for her, and she loved it. And then she went on Google, on the internet, and started Googling a bunch of things about, what matcha is and all that stuff. And pretty much, I mean, it gives you energy just like coffee, but I just love matcha completely. By the way, my bad if you hear raining, because it is raining. I just really hope my power doesn't go out. It's been 10 minutes and we've been talking about coffee this entire time, but or matcha for that matter, but it's raining, bro. And lately my power went out. I think it was the other day my power went out, and I think I was playing Dead by Daylight or something like that, and we were like, bro, are you kidding me? And for some reason my line to my computer did not have internet. I did not have it for about like 2 days, and my Xbox, I was running it off of, I think it was Wi-Fi, and I was super disappointed because I'm like, how am I supposed to be able to stream or do all the things that I do on the internet if I have no internet? So we thought it was the line that was outside, and we thought it got opened or rained on or whatever, where like the cable got cut and water slipped in. But the only thing I need to do was reset the modem again, and I was like, this is so stupid. I went 2 days without internet, but whatever. I just hope that my internet does not get cut right now, or my power for that matter, because I need to keep talking about this like it is. And well, okay, so one of the other things that we love to drink, I know, listen, I went from coffee to matcha, but I just need to talk about this other thing because the same aunt saw us making something and I want to talk about it. So I think it was like 3 years ago, Raquel and I, we went to Disney, and it had boba tea or bubble tea, whatever you want to call it. I know it's boba, but some people call it bubble. Oh my gosh, listen, I'm getting confused. Whatever. We always used to go to this place near my house, and we would always get like mango tea or whatever. And we let my mom try, and she really liked it. Obviously, it has like tapioca balls, which are the boba, but it's really, really good. And I ended up later starting to get them for my mom. So it would be like Raquel and I would get the mango, and then my mom would get the lychee, but just tea with no milk. And then we started doing the tea with no milk, and we're like, whatever, this is great. And Raquel and I started going to, I think it's it has to be Japanese. Yeah, so we went to like Japanese marketplaces, and we would buy the tapioca balls now. Like we're buying them and actually making the teas on our own. And we would go on to Amazon or whatever it is and start buying, flavors to be able to make the teas. Because, I mean, my mom, if you like, my entire family is from Chile, or if you want to call it Chile, and they drink a lot of tea there. So I think that my mom and my dad and everybody literally loves tea. So it's boba tea, and they started loving it. They got it. They're not really addicted to it, but I mean, that's me. That's me and my girlfriend. We get addicted to it, but my mom loves it. Anytime I get her, she's like, please give me this. And I'm like, yo, mom, like, what if I don't? She's like, then that's disrespectful. I'm like, all right, never mind. I get you, mom. I'm gonna get it for you. But we started making, like, now Raquel and I are boba experts. I would actually say more of Raquel because she's the one that makes them. I just look at her make them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody's cooking or somebody's doing something and you need to learn how to do it, but you don't want to do it, so you have them do it, and then you're like, yeah, you're doing a good job. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. And they're like, oh, really, babe? Really? And you're like, yeah. Keep it up. Keep it up. And then, like, you look away and you're like, I ain't doing shit, But that's what happens. They're the ones that do it. She's doing it perfect. So I got to give it to you, man. Like, yo, Raquel, if you're listening to this right now, yo, shout out to you because you make some fire boba tea. And it's something that, I mean, I love it. I think my mom even loves it because every time we make it, you have to make tea. So you have to make hot tea first, and put like 6 or 7, tea bags in like this huge thing. And then you need to put it into the fridge, but in a jar, let it get super cold. So if you want, you can wait like a day. And then after that, you have to pour, like after, I don't know, probably like 6 hours, you need to let it get cold. You're not going to put it in the freezer because it's going to freeze. So you have to, it's like a process. And then when it comes out, you need to put the flavor on it, bam. And then you put the tapioca. The tapioca is another thing that you have to do. Like, do you think I have time for all these steps? I don't know how these people do it. I mean, obviously, like, there's people who are experts at this and they'll make it quick. But man, like, some people just make it so good. And I feel like Raquel and I are doing it, but I feel like Raquel just needs to learn how to do it quicker. Because, listen, man, you know what? I'm not going to tell her anymore. I have to start making them. I have to start learning. Because I don't know what it is, but every time I make coffee, like, she likes to make coffee. And it's not, well, she doesn't like to make it. Every time, like, I'm at her house, she's like, oh, babe, you want coffee? I'm like, sure. But she doesn't make it as good as me. Because the thing is, when you make coffee, you have to, like, put a little bit of milk, put the coffee in, put the sugar. Oh, no, hold up. I messed up. You have to put the milk, heat up the milk for like a little bit. Like if you're going to put a little bit of milk, you need a little bit first. Put it in for like 10 seconds. And then you got to put the coffee and the sugar and start like mixing it really, really hard until it turns into like espumita, which is like bubbly, I guess. And then you put your milk and it's going to be fire. Like I promise you, yo, you're going to love it. But do it like that next time. And then you heat up your milk and it comes out perfectly. But I always make them the opposite. So I just put the hot milk, I put it in the microwave, and then I put a little bit of coffee, sugar, and then I start mixing it. And then once I mix it, I ended up putting cold milk and then just ice or like crushed ice. And I have this sugar that for some reason, obviously it's cold, so it's not gonna like dissolve, because if it's like hot, it'll dissolve, but it's not dissolving, so it just stays right there. And it's like a nice little hard candy, pretty much. That's what it is. Don't take that out of context, but it's a candy. And Raquel and I, we call it crunchies. Like the crunchies are fire. I feel like we need to start making, like, there's already a chocolate called Crunch, but there's nothing called Crunchies. Like, I don't think so. So Raquel and I need to start making like some coffee. Probably making like I don't know. We got to start a business. And then our first drink needs to be called the Crunchies. Because, yo, I feel like, I don't know, it's good. It's a good thing that we're trying to do this. But anyway, I've loved coffee ever since I was a kid. And I feel like as you grow up, you start learning things that you hate, like mayonnaise, and things that you love, like coffee. But I feel like what happens if I were to stop drinking, coffee, matcha, maybe tea, even though I don't really drink like hot tea like my parents. Like my parents drink a hot tea every day. But, should I, like if you stop drinking it, will something happen to, because I think my sister cut it for a minute. And I don't know if anything on her aspect changed, but I wonder if I were to stop it, if it would change anything from my life. You get me? Which I don't really think it would, because coffee, I mean, for me, is beneficial for a lot of things. Maybe it gives you some type of energy, and then sometimes it gives you the runs. Like, yo, listen, if you need to go to the bathroom, I suggest you start getting on the coffee grind. Bro, for me, myself, like, it helps me. I'll have, like, somebody like my brother, and I'll be like, that doesn't help you. Like, bro, stop. Like, for me, it helps me. You ever meet that person that you're like, man, I'm going to chase my dream. I'm going to do this, and that. And they're like, nope, you won't. I'm like, yo, come on, man. I'm sorry for the scare. Yo, legit, I'm so sorry. I just saw the audio waves and it's just like, but I feel like, I think I've told them before, like, oh, I do this. And it's like, no, it won't work. I'm like, no, stop. For me, it works. For me, or maybe it's somebody that I know, somebody, their brother. But coffee for me helps me go to the bathroom too. Like, bro, coffee's so beneficial in so many ways, yo. Like, it's blowing my mind right now. I'll never forget, I was in my college class, and I think that they ended up making like a video, because we had to do a project on something. Like somebody did if you're Hispanic, you know what a quinceañera is? That means when you're 15, it's like a sweet 16. That's like the Americanized version. 15s is the like Hispanic way. So if you end up doing, like, let's say, like they were doing that, and then when they ended up doing that, they were doing one based off of coffee, and they went to somebody's like coffee house or brewery or whatever. Not brewer, what the hell am I talking about? I don't even know if that's what it is, but whatever. They were making coffee, and they recorded this guy that had coffee imported from, like, I think it was Bolivia or whatever it was, and he had his own shop. So they recorded everything about it. And I'm just thinking, man, did they get free coffee? Because they should have gotten free coffee. But that's not even like the least of it. But anyway, I had no idea where I was going there, because I literally spaced out while I was saying that story. Bro, I go off topic sometimes, and I shouldn't be going off topic. But man, it just happens. But anyway, I cannot believe it, but we've been going 19 minutes talking about tea, hot tea, coffee. I can't believe it. We're loving these things, and I don't know, coffee to me is something that I think I'll continue for the rest of my life. But maybe I might stop it one day, but not right now. It's too good. It's too good. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to talk. If you guys are in the comment section, tell me about coffee. Tell me about things that you like to eat or drink or whatever, because that's like something daily routine for me. Wake up, have coffee, maybe midday have coffee, and then nighttime I have coffee. I don't even think though that coffee at nighttime does affect me. I think that I've like sometimes like if you're Hispanic, we drink coffee at night and we go to sleep. Like I feel like at that point we're immune to coffee. You get me? Like coffee don't even do it to us. Like it doesn't do it. Like it's not like yo wake up. Like nah, we don't get that anymore. Like straight up, I feel like we're just immune to it. But anyway, I hope you guys like this podcast. I have no idea if this is gonna go up on YouTube. And I did want to make a Spotify one day for this, just to have like different topics and stuff. But if you guys do want, I mean, follow me up on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, one time on Twitter at Yoshi Monster. Give me some topics to talk about. Yes, I know, Yoshi Monster. I mean, it's my gaming channel, man. But what can you do, right? I'm not gonna make like 16 different accounts. But anyway, this is podcast number 2, and I think this one was a lot better than the first one for sure. I mean, listen, coffee. I just drank it. I'm energized. Keep it up, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode number 2 pretty much. Have a good one. Have a great day. Have an energized day. Without batteries, though. Let's be real.